My name is Alicia McKenna-Johnson, and I've been invited to Page Burners, and they asked me to do an author video interview if I wanted, and I've never done one before. So we'll see how it goes. I have kittens who may or may not interfere, so I'll apologize for that in advance. All right, so the questions I got sent. What inspired you to write this book? Well, so Phoenix Child, which is the first book in the series, honestly, I was probably reading Harry Potter fan fiction, and one of those where Harry's part like Vila or werewolf or something, who knows. And I just thought, what if? What if the magical creatures from fairy tales and myths, what if they had fallen in love with and had children with humans? And what if the humans of today's world started exhibiting those traits from those different magical creatures? What would that look like? And at the time, I was working with foster kids. And so Sarah was a foster child and had these magical powers from a phoenix from 4,000 years ago. And it went from there. So the book I'm currently working on is the fifth book in the Children of Fire series, and it takes place in India. So it's just a continuation of that adventure. Who's my favorite character and why? So as I was editing book 4, A Dragon's Clutch, which takes place in India, or not India, sorry, in Japan. One of the favorite characters that stood out for me a lot in that book is Shin, and he's kind of a side character, but he brings a lot of humor and a lot of understanding and stability to this group of really powerful, emotional teenagers. So I really like Shin in that book. A lot of times in the previous books, Anali's been one of my favorites. She's Sarah's aunt, and she just has this very earthy, grounded, regal mother energy to her. And so I really like her as a character. If my book had a candle, what name and scent would you choose? So I've never thought about this before. It's a really interesting question. It would probably be like raging teenage hormones or teen angst or something. And I would imagine it being one of those candles that had all the different layers. So it would go through the different characters, and you would never know if it was going to be like something soft and sweet or spicy, or my people are circus performers. Am I going to get like sweaty gym socks? Like, it would just be kind of an unknown quantity as it burned down. What is my writing routine? When I'm being really prolific, when I'm writing a lot, which to me is 2,000 to 4,000 words a day. That's what I try and do. I write for 45 minutes. I time it. I write for 45 minutes, and then I take a 15-minute break, which is also timed. And in that break, I walk around the block or do some dishes or make a phone call that I need to do. I do something completely different than writing, and I step away from that and come back. I do best if I get my writing done earlier in the day, but for the past 9 years, I've been a professional foster parent, and so I can write while SpongeBob is on the TV. I can write, when kids are playing and running around the house and everything. Like I just write whenever I can sit down and do it. Pancer or plotter? I am a pantser by nature, but I normally, about halfway through the book, I need to stop and plot it out. Like, where am I? Where are my characters? They travel the world saving magical creatures. And so not only do I need to know where they are on their growth arc, but I need to know where they are physically in, whatever country it is that they're visiting at that time. And how are we going to get to the end point? Because I always know the end of my books, the end chapter. I wish that I had done more plotting because it's a series, and I'm finding myself constricted by things I wrote in book 1. And now that I'm in book 5, there are things that I have to stay true to in the world that I've created. But I wish I'd had the forethought to plot a bit more in this series so that I would have those little kinks worked out better. Is there a snack or drink you have to have on hand while writing? Not really. I mostly drink water. I live in Arizona. I live in the desert. I drink tons and tons of water. I really like to have little finger food, like grapes, cherry tomatoes, those little sweet peppers, berries, things that are easy to eat while I'm writing. What book am I currently reading? I'm still researching India, even though I've started writing it. I'm reading novels set in India, and unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the book set in India that I'm reading right now. But then for pleasure reading, I'm reading Maelstrom by Jordan Hawk, and that's a historic, supernatural gay romance novel. So it's the sixth in that particular series, so it's fun. And then what am I currently writing? As I said earlier, I'm writing the fifth book in the Children of Fire series right now. They're in India, which is just a huge, beautiful, amazing, diverse country. So I'm feeling really intimidated by writing this. Thankfully, I have several people who are able to beta read it for me, who live in India currently or have lived in India, so I know that they'll have my back and it'll be a strong book. But that's what I'm working on right now. Excuse me. And where can you go to find me on social media? I'm most active on Facebook, and you can just search Alica McKenna-Johnson on Facebook. I do have an author page, and you're welcome to join that one, but most of what I do is on my personal page, so go ahead and follow me there. You can find me on Twitter at A McKenna-Johnson, and Instagram is Alicia_McKenna-Johnson, and I have a website, AliciaMcKenna-Johnson.com, where I post blog posts and stuff, and you can join my newsletter from my website if you're interested. So all right, those are the questions I was sent, and I hope this wasn't too dorky, and thank you for watching, and thank you so much for Page Burner for having me.